chapter 14, part 2. There's no time like right now. Okay, so there's an argument that this idea could have a positive social impact in our present world after all. But how long would that take? A year, two, three? Meh. This is a world of instant gratification. We don't even have the time to drive through a fast food restaurant anymore. We get fast food delivered. And fashions don't change every decade, they change every day. My clothes are going out of style while I'm typing this. So, what could just the knowledge of temporal resurrection possibly do for any of us right now? Well, the first thing it could do is provide some hope to those of us who have found purely spiritual beliefs in the afterlife to be hard to believe. And maybe we have a family member or someone who is ill or older who might find this thought intriguing as well. But the second thing is that this idea means that some kind of temporal intervention is possible, doesn't it? And while this is extremely hypothetical, it needs to be discussed. So I'm going to discuss it right now. The thing is, all afterlife beliefs have it. Guardian angels, visiting spirits, this kind of thing. People have a need to believe that when things go wrong in their life, that higher powers are listening and might help. We're all just one good prayer away from winning the lottery, right? Let's face it. This is in the back of most of our minds. No atheist in foxholes, that kind of thing. And if we choose to believe that temporal engineering and temporal resurrection are possible, and therefore might be happening, this also means we have chosen to view all of these accounts of spiritual encounters, ghostly encounters, and interventions as being misinterpretations of temporal shenanigans. And if we believe that temporal, multidimensional interventions are what is behind all this, then we must also accept that intervention is possible. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know how it would be possible. Intervening in the past seems to be a big no-no according to logic and science, but I'm also not an artificial superintelligence with an IQ of a zillion. So, just like any other belief in the afterlife, this one also offers us the all-important chance at instant help via some higher power. And perhaps the theories in this book will put us one step closer to actually getting that prayer answered. The way any knowledge about what's going to happen or any insight into the way things works can allow us to make better decisions. Along the lines of, if I only knew then what I know now. Well, now we know. Summing it all up. So in the end, the possibility of temporal resurrections, it's just an idea. I'm not suggesting we devote our lives to it. But it's a possibility that could affect our society in a positive way right now by giving some of us hope and influencing us to act in a more socially conscious way. And it's a thought that might give more people a reason to work to prevent this world from becoming a hell and to work to make it into the heaven we all want. And the really interesting thing is that this idea is a good one, even if in 20 years it turns out to be entirely wrong. Because whether we're a nihilist who rejects beliefs in the afterlife because they go against science, or we believe in karma and reincarnation, or even someone who believes in a loving God, this idea works for us. Think about it. Isn't a population more invested in science and improving the world right now what optimistic nihilists want? And what better karma could people earn than to be good to one another and try and build heaven on earth? And finally, it's hard to imagine a loving God that would be mad at us for trying to turn our earth into a heaven and saving one another. So at the end of the day, I thought it was a pretty good idea. Worth writing a book about.